want to know where to make the least amount of noise.
Yeah, because
We'll sneak it
paper
over here.
rustling.
That way we'll catch two.
Okay.
One of them disappears.
Yeah, I used to have one right here.
What happened, but
Okay. Now we got some.
Commissioner.
Hey, hello there. Anytime.
All right, I have about a minute too, so if you're ready, I'm gonna go ahead and start recording.
Recording in progress.
Good. May 7th.
Okay.
Or have to leave early.
The harvest must be over in Washington, Saskatchewan.
It's kind of hard to do that with the present weather.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, good afternoon. I have 3 p.m. Welcome to this, the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of County Road Commissioners for the County of Kalamazoo for January the 16th, 2024. We'll call the meeting to order. And Ms. Ryder, would you please read the remote participation instruction?
This meeting is being provided under Act 267 of the Public Acts of 1976 as amended, or commonly referred to as the Open Meetings Act. During public comment, participants will have the opportunity to address the board at the beginning of the meeting and at the end of the meeting for non-agenda items. Public comments should be provided at the podium in order to ensure proper audio. Public comments, statements, or questions shall be limited to not more than 3 minutes for each person addressing the board. To provide public comment by Zoom, use the raise hand feature in the Zoom application. The host will ask you to unmute. For telephone audio, use *9. Use *6 to toggle back and forth between mute and unmute. As you participate in the meeting, your microphone will be placed on mute. The chat feature shall only be used to address any technical issues for public participation.
Thank you very much. Will you please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? We pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, the goal of the Board of the County Road Commissioners of the County of Kalamazoo is using our expertise, energy, and funds to provide the safest and most convenient road system possible and to contribute to the economic development and the high quality of life throughout the county. Our goal is to maintain a county road system that is safe and convenient for public travel and to manage the roadside environment with a view towards preservation. Okay, next item on our agenda would be approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Support?
Motion from Commissioner Boersma with support from Vice Chair Pulaski for,
Nope, Commissioner Stakehour, I believe.
oh, I'm sorry. I was waiting for noise. Okay, thank you, Commissioner Stahour. For approval of the agenda, any questions or comments on the agenda for today? Okay, all those in favor of approving the agenda, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. The agenda is approved. Next item would be approval of the minutes for the January 2nd, 2024 board meeting. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved?
Support.
That one is from Commissioner Stahour.
Correct.
With support from Commissioner Boersma. Any questions on the meeting minutes? Okay, all those in favor of approving the minutes as presented, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Next item would be approval of the payroll and vendor accounts. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Support?
Motion from Commissioner Dickinson with support from Vice Chair Pulaski for approval of the payroll and vendor accounts. Any questions or comments on those today? All right, all those in favor of approving the payroll and vendor accounts as presented, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. It has been approved. Next item would be approval of the expense report for Commissioner Brennan and myself. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved?
Support.
Motion from Commissioner Stahour with support from Commissioner Boersma. Any questions or comments on this one? All those in favor of approving this expense report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign, has been approved. We've reached the first portion in our meeting where we're open to public comment on non-agenda items. Do we have anyone wishing to address the board at this point in time? Please step forward to the podium, sir. Good
Good
day.
afternoon.
It is.
Good afternoon.
I'm Scott Jeffries. I live at 5152 Green Meadow Road. And I was here about 6 months ago, and we were struggling. And I just wanted to come back and report that we've been working with your engineering folks, and hopefully there's an answer coming to solve the safety problems on Green Meadow Road. I like the fact that in your mission, it's safety, and we don't have it. We have drive-offs, we have buses going off the road, and you can count a million reasons for that, but speed is almost always involved. And we're looking now for solutions. You know, I think we've all come to the point that there is a safety problem, and we're looking for solutions. And from my research, the solutions that we need are context-oriented. Context meaning we live in the urban portion of the township of Ashtimo, and we live in the urban portion of the county. Although the road commission has to be responsible for both rural and urban.
That's
And
correct.
adapting to that urban is our challenge, I think. That context is different, and it requires a different way of approaching the roads as opposed to one kind of size fits all, don't you think? Is context important, do you think, in how we manage the roads? Yeah, everybody would agree with that.
Possibly.
So
Certainly.
I'm asking for that context to be taken into account, and for the operations people, for the engineering people, for the whole road commission to come together to bring a solution, remediation to a road that was designed for one thing but has gotten out of hand. So that's why we're here today. I brought several people that wanted to learn a bit more about how the sausage is made, and we're glad to be here today. So thank you for the progress we've made so far. Please release the work that needs to be done so that we can remediate the problems and have safety on the road. Please.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, sir. Do we have anyone else wishing to address the board at this point in time for a non-agenda item?
We do have somebody online.
Okay, Commissioner Gisler, is that it? Go ahead.
Am I unmuted? I unmuted myself here.
Yep, we can hear you.
We're good.
Okay, I've got two quick things today to bring up. The first is the most important of the two, and that is Avelo Airlines is still offering $25 off on every round-trip flight between here and Orlando. If the flight is finished by June 30th, don't pass up a chance to get to Orlando over spring break, maybe. And the other one, which is less important, is that it looks like I'm gonna be saddling you guys again as the county commission's liaison to the road commission. So be that good, bad, or indifferent in your opinion, you're gonna have to live with it another year. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Gisler. I would just like to say that I am very pleased to see that you represent the airport committee as well as you represent the road commission. We sincerely appreciate that.
Oh, you've gotta look at the draft.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have anyone else wishing to address the board at this point in time for non-agenda item? Nothing else online? Okay, moving forward into new business. Item A, request approval of the declaration of necessary resolution for TU Avenue 23rd, Schoolcraft Township. Managing Director.
All right. At our October 24th board meeting, the board approved good faith written offers to the various property owners for easements along our TU Avenue and 23rd Street project in Schoolcraft Township. Having sent those letters, we have not heard a response from those property owners in terms of a potential agreement. So the next step is to proceed to a declaration of necessity and proceed to the courts. And these documents that you have before you have all been reviewed by our legal counsel. It is proceeding forward with condemnation. On behalf of this whole organization and also understanding that of the property owners and property rights, we take this very seriously. We have not proceeded in this format since about 2017, if I'm not mistaken. So it's been, since 2006. It's been 17 years since we proceeded with this type of direction. So again, we don't take that lightly, but we do find, back to our mission statement, in the best interest of the public that we serve for transportation purposes, that we recommend that the board approve the resolutions determining necessity, making a declaration of taking, and authorizing the initiation of a condemnation action to acquire property for the managing director's signature.
Thank you very much. Do we have a motion, please?
So moved.
Well, motion from Vice Chair Pulaski with support from Commissioner Boersma. Any discussion or questions or comments on this one? Commissioner Boersma.
A quick parliamentary question. Do we need to have a resolution on each, or a vote on each resolution, or do we have to, we just do this as a group of three?
I believe we can do it on a group of three because it is all for that corresponding area. However, you bring up a good point. We probably should do a roll call vote in regards to this because, again, it is a process of condemnation that has to go to the courts, and probably a roll call vote would be in order for that.
Right, and we have the legal, our legal has looked at it in full agreement with it.
Yeah.
Excuse me, any further questions or comments? Okay, any questions or comments from the audience here? All right, all those in favor of approval, please signify.
Mr. Chair, we have to do a roll call vote.
All those in favor, let's go with a roll call vote and go through this, or not, here.
Commissioner Boersma.
Aye.
Commissioner Brennan.
Yes.
Commissioner Stayhauer.
Yes.
Commissioner Pulaski.
Yes.
Commissioner Dickinson.
Yes.
We have 5 yes, and so that has been approved. Next item would be item B, request approval of the Michigan Department of Transportation Contract 23. It still is a 23 dash. I'll put my glasses on.
Yes.
All right. 5533 for Squires Drive. Managing Director, please.
All right, this is one of our projects we've had on our capital improvement program. It is Squires Drive, Drake Road to Ravine, Squires Drive at Drake Road. As the board is aware, this is a roundabout. We did already have bids, which did come in 0.83% under the engineer's estimate. The low bid is Michigan Paving for $1,221,280.99. By the board approving this, the Michigan Department of Transportation can proceed to bid award. As the board is aware, we are planning informational meetings. This will be one informational meeting out of 7, I think we're planning for this year. So we are recommending that the board approve the Michigan Department of Transportation Contract 23-5533 for the managing director's signature.
Thank you very much. Do I have a motion on this one, please?
So moved.
Support.
I have a motion from Commissioner Stahauer with support from Commissioner Boersma. You're pointing at each other. So, any questions or comments on this one? Vice Chair Pulaski.
Yep, just I'm very excited about this project and looking forward to it moving forward.
Thank you. I've got a question. Is this the 2024 project?
It is.
It is. Very good. Okay, any further questions or comments? Okay, all those in favor of approval on the Michigan Department of Transportation Contract 23-5533, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That has been approved. Excuse me. Item C, request approval of the Brady Township Local Road Contract, A through E, Managing Director.
Okay, well, I'm happy to report that Brady Township wins the award for the first local road contract of 2024, so we do appreciate that. The contracts are actually not due until March 15th, although if you have a hot mix asphalt related project, we ask that those are in by February 15th, if I'm not mistaken. We do have to put out a new hot mix asphalt bid this year, so again, having some known projects ahead of time per our policy is very helpful in that regard. Also, I believe it was last week, I think it was last week, we did have a meeting with, we invited 5 townships, but had a meeting with 3 that were able to make the meeting, where we're reviewing our local road contracts. So we might have a new contract at minimum for those 3 townships. And what we're trying to get to is to try to have the dollars that have been allocated, not only by us, by the township, to spend those funds in that given year. And so what we're hoping to have within the new contracts is not only the current year projects, but maybe an illustrative or contingent projects that if we haven't spent the full township share, that we're able to move to those projects. We can get prep work done, maybe get ahead for next year. So again, it's an experiment. We're working through what that's going to look like, but we do appreciate the townships that participated and even those that had planned to participate but could not make it. Those that were here were Prairie Ronde, Waukesha, I see Township Supervisor Gatlin on the line, as well as Richland Township and Marcia Druin. Cooper Township and Texas Township were invited, but they weren't able to make it. We did provide them a summary. So we'll talk a little bit more about that at the Township Supervisors meeting tomorrow for all the townships as well. But for today, we recommend that the board approve the Brady Township Local Road Contract for the chair's signature.
Thank you very much. Do I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Support.
We have a motion from Commissioner Dickinson with support from Vice Chair Pulaski. Any questions or comments on this one? Hearing none, seeing none. All those in favor of approving the Brady Township Local Road Contract, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. We have now reached the second portion in our agenda where we are open to public comment on non-agenda items. Do we have anyone wishing to address the board at this point in time? Please come forward, yes.
Turn the mic on for you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hi, my name is Barbara Blissett. I'm sorry I'm late. I was sitting outside trying to figure out where to get in. Didn't realize this was a separate building and
Yes.
tried to call the phone and got voicemail and said, leave a message. That's not going to do me any good. But anyway, here I am. I currently live at the Leisure Time Condo Association at 5280 Green Meadow Road, and I know my neighbors have probably already spoken. I would like to put my 2 cents in saying that we really need something that's going to calm that road. We have a drag strip from Drake Road down to the apartments in the back. I know we've all tried to ask speeders to calm down, tried to, make motion. I've been threatened when I've tried to ask people to slow down for safety. for their own safety going around the curves. Just this past week, we've had something go up over the curb again. We've had our sunrooms banged in by cars that go up over the berms and everything because they figure they're not going to be stopped or anything like that. And so it's just it's literally a drag race. And I've seen other ones, just like the one over off of Stonebrook, which is going around from, it goes from West Main around to Stonebrook. They've just put some new ones there, and I realize that's in the city, but they're good-sized ones, and people are really slowing down for those. So I understand it's probably a snow plow issue, but we really need something, especially for our senior citizens walking. So that's my 2 cents. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for your comments. Do we have anyone else wishing to address the board at this point in time for non-agenda items? Okay, moving forward into managing director's time.
All right, well, a few items. First of all, I want to thank our team here at the Road Commission who worked nonstop around the clock from Friday. I think today was the first day we didn't have full extended shifts and early call-ins. But through the weekend, we had approximately 106 active alerts. So this really primarily was trees. So while we were trying to facilitate winter maintenance activities, we were chasing trees at the same time. I'm proud to report that we did that safely, not only for the motoring public or the public in general, but certainly for our team. Altogether, as of from Friday until today, we had 224 service requests. I will share that some of those are the active alerts that we put in our system, the emergency calls as well for tracking. We had 110 for winter maintenance, and as of those that we've entered in, 81 for trees. I will share we had 2 thank yous, so that was great. So again, we do thank our team. And I also want to extend our thanks to County Consolidated Dispatch as well. They did a great job communicating with us as well. We talked about that this morning at our staff meeting. Reached out to Jeff Troyer there as well. They worked with us both on the radio, coordinating. I mean, they were just great. Also, County and the Emergency Operations Center, we participated in calls throughout the weekend. I'm not sure everybody knows that that happens, but it does, where really there's all of us throughout the county communicating on what we're seeing, both with the hospitals as well as emergency response, law enforcement, et cetera. So great job by County Emergency Operations Center as well. So we stayed connected. And you know, the frigid temperatures that we have now, obviously with the temperatures hopefully coming up a little bit through the end of the week, we'll be able to do some more clearing. So just again, use caution, drive for conditions out there, but huge thank you to our team. I also want to thank a particular team member, Mr. Joe Ricks, our road maintenance operator. He participated in a Fox News Channel 17 interview. So, you know, that's not always easy for our team. No. So I really appreciate him doing that. He is also one of our employees that's a team leader with our apprentices. So again, just a shout out to him for being willing to do that and being recognized. So thank you for that. Wanted to make mention that this evening, at 5 o'clock, we will be up in Ross Township for the first joint meeting of the year. So glad to be back out on the road and heading to Ross Township. Also wanted to make mention that I see we have at least one of our property owners, I think Dave is here from 19th Street. Yes. At our next meeting, at least right now, unless something changes, we do have NCRS planning on attending, whether it be in person or virtually, giving us an update on where they're at with 19th Street at the next meeting. So we'll look forward to that update at that time. I also provided the board, as we all know, we're preparing for a move. So with that process, we get to go through the archives. Again, we've been around since 1909, so there's a lot of material out there. So I have shared with the board something that was prepared back in 1989. We do actually have a signed copy as well. But I thought it would you know, just prove beneficial on how some things don't change, and sometimes things come full circle, and sometimes a lot of things change. So at your leisure, feel free to look at this historic document. Again, we have stuff that's even older than that, but I thought it was interesting, so I've provided you that. With that, since we were talking about the move and our, I think we're 40-some days away from moving into our new facility, I'm going to ask Ann Simmons, our finance director, to provide the board and the public an update on the financial picture of our new facility, and then Travis Bartholomew, our operations director, can talk about, where we are in terms of construction.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Ann Simmons, Finance Director for the Road Commission. Here to give us a quick update. As of January 16th, we have spent $57,434,000 so far on this project. We have $7.8 million left in the budget. Still don't expect to use that. It does include our contingency dollars, which we don't expect to use all of them at this point in time. We did receive an invoice for $2.2 million from our construction team this time around, and we will be invoicing the county to get reimbursed for bond funds through that. We'll be using very close to the full amount of the $5.6 million bond. Other than that, I can answer any questions for you.
So we're at 54,405 that we've drawn already on the bond. And we have
2.6 million.
2.6 left, and we got a 2.2 out of the, okay, so it's close. We'll be pulling, I'm assuming we're gonna ultimately, because with the miscellaneous and expenses that are still gonna come in, we'll use all of the bond.
Well, the
Very
bond,
close
you
to it.
can only include the specific items that were listed in the language, so we can't include furniture, but
No,
yes, we will be using 100% of the
Other
bond
bonds,
funds.
right, and then we, just a general comment, we had 10 mil that we had put away to start the project as far as reserve. Okay, so we're gonna end up pretty close to the 65, right on the nose, or real close to it,
We'll be close to it,
yeah, but not
but
over.
under.
But under, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, any other questions or comments? Commissioner Boyle?
Probably, just to elaborate, maybe staff can help out, but we're on time, on budget. 26th Street Sanitary went a little over budget maybe, but on that specific item, have we paid all the costs there, or there's some to come yet?
There's a $50,000 invoice we haven't paid yet, plus there's a little bit left for restoration in the spring.
Okay,
But we'll be revising the budget to reflect that change and shuffling dollars around, and
okay.
but it was due to that construction issue of all the, Travis can speak more to it, the water issue on the road itself, and that's what caused it to go over.
Yeah.
Any other questions or comments for Ann? Oh, well, thank you very much. Travis?
All right, Travis Bartholomew, Operations Director. So I'm gonna start off with Phase 1, which we've moved beyond because it's all in service, but there's a couple items still remaining there that we need to talk about. The Phase 1 generator. The rumor is it's on a truck and will be here Friday.
And just for understanding, how long past original need date is this? I mean, or
Oh, we're probably at least 6 months.
6
maybe
months,
closer
it's
to
6 or
8
7 months late,
right?
yeah.
And this is the unit that the tank company went out of business and they had to find another company to make the tank, the fuel tank for it.
But it's on a truck.
It's on a truck, should be here Friday, we can get it commissioned here next week and get that piece behind us, so. One other item with the salt storage building is a spray boom. So we've been working on that, pretty much for the last couple months, trying to finalize, that piece of it. I can say the unit moves. We intend on having it spraying next week. So we have the manufacturer of the controls coming on the 22nd, and they're gonna do some calibrations to the pump, so we can actually fire that thing up and get it running next week, so. There'll still be some final details to work through, but at least it'll be in operation and usable, so.
A question for you on that.
Yes.
That is our own design, philosophy, if you will. Have we had any interest from other areas in talking to us about what we've done there?
We haven't really shared much with
Okay.
what we've done, just to make sure that, you know, it will work and function properly. I will say a lot of the agencies that currently use liquids are putting liquids through the plow trucks. So they're carrying tanks with them and spraying at the spinner with the trucks. There are a few agencies that are pile treating, but there's a lot of agencies that aren't using liquids. So this could be an opportunity, I think, to get into the liquid practice, rather inexpensive for other agencies. So I'm sure with all the tours that are coming up and open house, there'll be others interested in it. Yes.
Right. Thank you.
Yep. All right, vehicle wash building, it's in full operation. I don't know, last I checked, we were over 400 washes, so it is being used. It works well. Good feedback from the team. There was one item there that we added after the design. That was the snow melt outside the building, so on the approaches. And then we had some hiccups with the circulator pumps and trying to figure out the details. So anyways, that system is all complete, but it hasn't started up yet. So we hope to get that started here next week in using that. So that'll thaw out the approaches to that building. Moving on to the meat and potatoes where we're working, vehicle storage. I mentioned before, we're pretty much done in that building. It's just fine details, with the mechanical, electrical, plumbing, but really focusing on piping insulation, which is, I'm going to say 90-some% complete in that building, and then building management controls and wiring. So they're working on that now. We should be able to punch that building here probably in the next 2 weeks, so we can get that building behind us. Vehicle maintenance building is moving right along. Probably the biggest piece there that we still have to complete is getting the boiler started. So we're still working on temporary heat at this point. We really just got a few items left on the venting side, trying to get the exhaust through the exterior wall, and then we should be able to fire those boilers probably the next week. And then we should be in full operation on the heat side. Other than that, in vehicle maintenance, we still have our lifts to install. So they're sitting there in place. We've taken delivery, just we're waiting on electricity to the units. So we should have that here in the next week or so also. So that gets us real close to wrapped up in the vehicle maintenance building. Should be ready for a punch list there in the next 3-4 weeks also. All right, the office building. So second floor, we've punched the second floor. So vendors and contractors are going through and doing their final touches there. We have furniture being delivered this week. So we should have 4 loads of furniture, and then we're scheduled to start next Monday with furniture install on the second floor. First floor is really busy. They're finishing up flooring, second coat of paint, a lot of work going on in the boardroom. The boardroom's gonna be the last room to be finished. There's just a lot of detail there. They're working on the clouds right now, and everything is integrated into the clouds, so it'll take a few weeks to finish that. That'll be right up against the wire, but Walbridge is confident that we'll get there. Kitchen countertops started going in today, so hopefully we'll get that area wrapped up here shortly. Doors are almost complete. There's some RMO doors that we're still waiting on. That'll be last minute. They'll be probably February 1st before they'll come in. And then the elevator, we're working on that. Hopefully have it in service here in the next week. Won't really be able to use it until we get a phone line to it. Right. So we just learned that here recently, so we're probably 2 weeks out before it's in use. Probably the other highlight downstairs is the collaboration area for the road maintenance operators. That's a really unique area. It's pretty neat. It has the 2 large collaboration tables, and they're being custom made out of concrete. So we're pouring the pillars to those right now. They've already made the concrete countertops that they look like actually a road, and they're going to be set here in the next week or so. So we'll get that area wrapped up. Other than that, it's really just mechanical, electrical, plumbing, doing their finishes, getting their covers on, their cabinets together, finishing up some lighting fixtures, and we should be able to punch the downstairs probably the middle of February. So this point, we're still on schedule. March 1st will be our move-in date, really. March 4th is probably the primary move-in date. Friday is the 1st. We'll start moving on the 1st, but the whole team will be moved over on the 4th of March, so. I think that's it, unless there's questions for me.
Do we have a move completion percentage at this point?
Is Rusty here?
Okay.
Rusty's been tracking that.
Okay.
It kind of jumped around a few times, but I will say,
I know you're keeping them so busy, you don't let them come anymore to the meetings.
we've made a lot of progress. There was 2 key critical areas that were taking a lot of time. This downstairs records room, the finance team, engineering team's been through that. So we've got that cleaned up, whittled down, ready to go. The outside items, the larger stock items, and then just miscellaneous equipment and pieces is pretty much all cleaned up. There are no bulk materials here except salt and salt sand, and we anticipate those are gonna be gone here shortly. Probably in the next storm event, we'll probably utilize the rest of that.
Clean this out.
And then we're moving over to the new facility, so. Stock room, we're making good progress. We've pretty much been through all the non-inventory and used parts upstairs. Downstairs, we're going through the stock items right now. Just trying to clean up what we're not gonna use and get rid of and get reorganized, so when we do move, it's all ready to just put on the shelf, so. As far as the number, I don't really have a good number now, but I'm gonna tell you, safely, we're well over 50% ready to move.
Okay. And just a general comment, our public open house, our dedication of the building is scheduled for March 21st.
That's correct. Yep.
All right.
Okay, any
Any
questions?
questions or comments here, guys? Well, thank you, Travis.
Yes, thank you.
Managing Director, we finished?
Yeah, I am. I just wanted to make comment. So invitations will be going out here shortly, but March 21st from 4 to 7 is our public open house for our facility, so stay tuned on that. You'll be getting a more official invite here shortly, and the public is encouraged and welcome to attend.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving forward into Commissioner's time. Commissioner Dickinson.
Yes, I have, I'm going to try to make Charleston's meeting on January 23rd from 4 to 5. For the Public Works, we are scheduling quarterly meetings, so we have March 21st, 9 a.m., June 20th, 9 a.m., September 18th, 9 a.m., and December 19th, 9 a.m. So those are our scheduled upcoming meetings for the Public Works. And I just had one question. Who's in charge of shoveling the front walkway that I almost broke my little ankle coming up?
I'll take that responsibility.
Yeah, we did a really good job with the parking lots and roads, but the sidewalks not.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner Boersma.
The Environmental Health Advisory Committee will not meet until February. So I don't have anything regarding that. I've not been to a township meeting since December, so I don't have any updates there. And all I can say is I'm trying my best to stay warm. And I do have one question for the managing director. I'm looking in the managing director's materials, and there's an award for Smart Cities North America. What's going on there?
Okay. Well, you might recall the board did approve various instruments from our contractor, I should say vendor, Samsara. You've seen them at a lot of the County Road Association conferences. We work with them with our cameras at our new facility as well as our dash cam, just a variety of different things that we utilize with Samsara. They've really become a very good vendor for us to work with and really state-of-the-art, as well as willing to look at different and new ways of bringing that technology into our industry. They reached out to Rusty McLean, our Assistant General Superintendent, and inquired if they could, on our behalf, nominate the Road Commission for the Smart Cities North America Award. They are a leading industry analyst firm, and they're looking for best practices in urban innovation and use of technology and data, as well as partnerships, different funding models, and community engagement. So they will be putting our name and what we've utilized with Samsara and that technology in our industry and in our operations in for an award. So stay tuned. It is new, and we appreciate their recognition and the board's support of our use of technology in our operations.
Okay, thank you.
All set?
I'm all set.
Okay, thank you very much. Commissioner Stayhauer.
Good afternoon. County Parks met on January 4. I'll say generally an ordinary meeting. They are in flux a little as a commission because reappointments need to occur or some new appointments to the Park Commission. I assured them I plan to stay. I don't know if they've heard formally from the Road Commission. I'm liaison there, but said that we voted to approve that. So they're hoping to have Woollen Preserve in a position to open it up this spring or portions of it. So they've been diligent working on many aspects of that new county park. They have some primarily heat renovations occurring at the Expo Center, had favorable bids and work's taking off there. I informed them of our open house coming up on March 21, so we'll be letting folks know that too. Tonight, I'm glad we can go to Ross Township. I visited several times last fall, and they usually had a few comments, or audience member had comments, so I'm really happy to have some other commissioners and staff there, and we can perhaps address some of those items, or at least let them know they're being heard and dealt with in due time. Made a point of driving, primarily in my area, primary roads, local roads, some of the plats, and just appreciation for the work being done. The roads were open. It's nice to, early hours of the morning, wake up or hear this rumble out on the street, hearing the snowplows going by. I think 2 times yesterday I met snowplow trucks. Good to see them out working in the plats too. Yeah, of course, Saturday maybe didn't look so good. But today, the ones I drove through, they've been opened up and they're getting work done. So just thank you there. And I hear we've dealt with lots of trees. Let alone to have all the snow and ice, tree work. Did I hear 150 trees or something we've had to handle. So thank you.
Certainly. Thank you. Vice Chair Pulaski.
Thank you, Chair. Just to comment on the building, I'm very excited about the move that we're coming into and happy everyone's going to be in a single location. This is the most exciting thing I think I've done as a commissioner, and I'm really looking forward to it, and the open house as well. So congratulations on everyone in the building committee especially. Please send my regrets to Ross Township. I won't be there tonight, but I'm glad we are getting those township joint meetings up and running. Great job and good work for everyone over this last winter storm event. Happy to see everyone is home safe, and that's the important thing. The May 7th meeting, I will either not be here or will have to leave early for May 7th. I'll be out of town about to leave out of town for a conference. And then that is all I have. I'll end there. Thank you very much. Oh, and just the comment on the next meeting, the 19th. It's good that we're going to hear some story on, or some work
For 19th
word on 19th Street. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, activities, last Friday, the Vice Chair, the Managing Director, and myself met with the leadership of the county board for an informational exchange meeting. On Monday the 8th, I had the opportunity to attend Commissioner Gisler's Concerned Citizens meeting, and this one we had the emergency management, Mike Kaufman, the manager for emergency management under the sheriff, was there giving some very good presentation information. Tonight I'll be at Ross Township. Tomorrow I'll be at the Township Supervisors meeting. The Managing Director you're attending also? And Mark, you're not gonna make it, so, okay, that's fine. Just some general comments. The work done by the organization in this snow emergency, for lack of a better term, been very, very well received. Phenomenal, thank you very much for all the hard work. I know what it is, it's 24/7. It was interesting, I mentioned the Commissioner Gisler meeting. The management director was talking about problems they'd had in the past and how they'd gone to the different areas and the cities and things that asked for more money to cover this and that. And he said, when he came to the road commission, we said, yeah, that's what we do. So we don't need anything extra. This is how we do business. Interesting. The new building is almost upon us. That's great. Been a lot of hard work over the last 2 years plus, really, from them. The team has done a tremendous job on what they've done to put that together. Just a general comment, we came a cross-functional team from every level of the organization, got together and worked on the design and development of that new building, and the results are gonna be phenomenally successful, and the results will be there for everyone to see. So that's about it for today, so thank you all for coming. Appreciate the attendance and the information given to us. Oh, we have a comment on, all right, Commissioner Gisler, recognized.
Thank you for letting me interrupt your meeting's finale here. But I just had to say, after listening to Travis describe how things were on budget and on schedule, I'm gonna be so glad when you guys open that new building and I don't have to listen at township meetings to Larry Stahauer remind me of all that. Thank you.
That wouldn't have anything to do with the Justice Center. Oh, never mind, okay, all right.
I have one quick
Oh,
comment.
sure.
It's just one, I didn't know if we could introduce who was in the audience. I think everyone else has been here. I didn't know who she was. Yes.
You can come to the podium,
Sure.
that would be great.
That'd be great, sure.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dorla Bonner. I am recently retired from the city of Kalamazoo as the Director of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and I'm with the Green Meadow Gang.
Okay, oh, okay.
So I'm gonna get you for that.
Thanks for coming, seriously. Okay, with that, we have another
One
managing
last
director.
comment, is anybody else from Green Meadow want to come to the podium?
Identify yourself?
Okay, all
No?
right, perfect, okay. Just a quick comment, I did want to just give a quick update is to all of those who are here from Green Meadow, it's my understanding that our team has been working with you all, and I think there's a meeting set up for January 30th, if I'm not mistaken, so we'll let that process take its course, but I did want to let the board know that there is a meeting set up, is my understanding, January 30th.
Very good.
Okay, thanks. Anything else?
Oh, you have a hand up.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Would you like to come forward?
I can handle it, yep.
The question is from the audience, what is the new building we're talking about?
New address.
New address.
Where?
Oh,
Where?
It's, the address is 4400 26th Street, South 26th Street, so it is just heading east on what Kilgore turns into N Avenue right here in front. And if you take a left on 26th Street, heading north, you will see the facility on the west side of the road. So it's 4400 South 26th Street. You can't miss it.
It's like, as a crow flies, about 1.25 miles due east of here. If people don't understand this or don't realize it, I didn't when I came to work as a commissioner here. We are right now centrally located in the county. It's hard to believe, but this is the central location for the county, which we service, and we're just moving 1 mile down the road. It was hard for me to understand that this is the middle, and I've been in this area for 40 years or something, but nonetheless, okay, just not the county. Okay, I'm on,
Can I just
yep, Commissioner
add to
Stahauer.
that?
Keep it going.
New facility, I think it's, I don't know if we're unique, but we use one central facility.
Right.
Serves our whole county rather than multiple garages distributed through the county.
Right.
So, yeah, you won't miss it, but realize we operate out of one facility, not 3 or 4 or 5.
It's huge, it's 40 acres. And this is what, in the teens, the
This
acreage?
is 17, of which about
17 acres
13 are
here.
utilized, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have a lot more room and, we've been here for 100 years. This new building prepares us for the next 100 years. It truly does. Okay, I'm gonna
Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We stand adjourned. Thank you, folks.
So we'll get a bonus if we vacate early. Our purchaser will say, hey, we'll give you a $1 million incentive to get out of here.
Yeah.
The whole building.
I don't know if the building's for sale or just the offices.
What's that?
I don't know, it was
Yeah.
like, almost like vacant. I was like,
Yeah.
interesting. They could have moved. Like, when we hear they.
Yeah.